It was a rivalry matchup at Belmont Park as the New York Islanders took on the New Jersey Devils, hoping for a crucial 2 points in the Eastern wildcard race. Now, the Devils were coming off a win in Ottawa that officially punched their ticket to the Stanley Cup playoffs, while the Isles remain in the first wildcard spot, hoping for a big 2 points against their division rivals. Now, even though the Devils clinched, they did not take their foot off the gas. The Islanders knew that if they wanted to win against this speedy and skilled team, they need to play a physical game, focused on laying hits in the corners and clogging up passing lanes. Now, let's take a look at the goaltending matchup. Between the pipes was Vezina candidate Ilya Sorokin for New York and Vitek Vanacek for the Devils. Both goaltenders were well-rested coming into the game, as they both let their backups handle their matchups on Saturday. Vanacek is putting together a solid season with a .909 save percentage, a goals against average of 2.5, and has posted 3 shutouts thus far. Sorokin, on the other hand, boasts a .924 save percentage, averaging 2.39 goals allowed per game with 5 shutouts. The Devils were the narrow favorite coming into Monday night's game, but it would be Matt Martin of the Islanders who gave Vanacek a wake-up call as he rang the iron early in the first period. The Devils would take it back the other way on a 2-on-1, where Ilya Sorokin would once again demonstrate his brilliance with a flash of the leather, leading to the Islanders' first goal. Take a look at this.
One guy can get him the puck.
There's Tatar across, and Sorokin comes up big on the try from Eric Holland.
He just continues to make big save after big save, as Varlamov did the other night against the Buffalo Sabres.
Here's Palmieri slipping in. Palmieri! Save, rebound, scores!
That was the deadline acquisition for the Islanders from the Toronto Maple Leafs in exchange for a third-rounder in the 2024 draft. So an absolute steal for the Islanders there, as Kyle Palmieri would tap that one home. And after a quiet end to the first, it would be the Devils who would hit the ground running in the second with a shorthanded goal after a Jack Hughes penalty. It was Eric Haula who beat Sorokin by skating wide with speed on his backhand. Now, when we talk about the intangibles of hockey, all right, it's usually with regards to hitting, effort, and leadership. But you know what we often don't discuss? Patience. It would be Kyle Palmieri demonstrating impeccable patience with this backhand goal. I want you to watch this.
Palmieri has Engvall going to the goal. Palmieri brings it around, takes a look, continues on with the backhand, still with it. He shoots and scores!
This shows remarkable game sense from the 32-year-old veteran. It's one thing to recognize the fact that you don't have any good options, but to have the confidence and the skill to skate all the way around and then find that on the backhand in the top corner, it is absolutely absurd. And I got the chance to ask him about this play, and I wanted to hear what was going on in his head. Here's what he had to say. On that backhand goal, you're entering the offensive zone. Can you just walk me through what was going through your head until that puck's in the back of the net?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things go through your head. There's a couple options that I wanted to try and find a way to pass through, and wasn't able to find it, and found myself kind of walking through the slot with the puck on my backhand, and decided to try and get to the net.
So when did you start thinking goal?
Really just at the end.
Okay.
Just kind of, that's the way it developed, and like I said, it got pretty crowded at the net front there, and I found some space and just tried to get it on net.
Halfway through the third period, the controversial and often scrutinized distinct kicking motion would once again be brought up, with a goal from Tomas Tatar that was disallowed. I want you guys to check this out, and then we will discuss why I think the refs made the right call. Take a look.
We're going to need Adam Pelech the rest of the way to lock some major minutes. No goal. Kicked in by Tatar. As we take a look.
There's Dougie Hamilton with the shot. Oh, yeah, that's going to be...
So, from my perspective, the goal was correctly disallowed. Now, it would have been a different situation, say, if he kicked it off his front foot, or even more so, if he had kicked it with the outside of his skate. But when you get it with the back foot, with the inside of the skate, it just looks too obvious. I think the refs made the right call, and the game would remain at 2-1. The Islanders' defense in the third shined, actually, specifically from the 2021 All-Star Adam Pelech, who led the effort with multiple takeaways and multiple blocks. The Devils' defense, on the other hand, languished, uncharacteristically from the talented Ryan Graves. Here is how the two defensemen lined up in this game. Pelech found himself on the ice for 3 Islanders goals with 3 blocked shots. He led the team by spending over 25 minutes on the ice, demonstrating that Lane Lambert liked what he was seeing from him, while Graves found himself at a -2, but looked slow, especially on that Palmieri backhand goal. He only blocked 1 shot and spent a mere 13:58 on the ice. But the Palmieri show was not over. He was hovering behind a scrum in the Devils' corner late in the third and found a bouncing puck and absolutely slapped it home with 2 minutes remaining. Vanacek would be pulled in a desperation attempt to maybe try and scratch a goal across, and Casey Cizikas would show some excellent sportsmanship to his struggling teammate Bo Horvat as he had a completely open empty net opportunity, sauced Horvat the pass, giving the Vancouver Star his first goal since February 26th. Yikes. But Zach Parise would find yet another empty net opportunity on the penalty kill to finish the game at 5-1. Horvat has been an anomaly for the Islanders, to put it nicely. Lane Lambert and the captain Anders Lee have hailed him as a player who does the little things right, takes away space, and makes all of his line mates better. But let's take a look at the numbers here. In the last month, not including his empty netter last night, Horvat has only scratched across 1 goal and 2 assists and has a plus-minus of -7. Yet, he has a face-off win percentage of a staggering 59.1% since joining the team, which was a huge area of weakness for their former center, Matt Barzal, who of course is injured right now. And even though Lou Lamoriello couldn't have predicted the Barzal injury, moving that speed threat to the wing paid dividends when the 2 elite talents were on the same line just for a little bit of time. Expect to see production increase when they're line mates in the playoffs. The Islanders now find themselves in a much more comfortable position in the wildcard race. They are 3 points up on the Penguins already, even though Pittsburgh has 2 games in hand, and they remain atop the rest of the pack with a pretty easy schedule remaining. The Isles will play the Washington Capitals on Wednesday, hoping to knock them out of the wildcard race. But until then, I'm Nick Palmer for WFUV Sports.